All right. Welcome back, guys. My name is Coach Andrew Simmons, and I'm here to bring you guys season number 2 of Jog Your Mind. I'm super excited to be sitting in front of this camera, have this microphone right here, and I'm super excited for what we're going to bring you guys in season 2. Now, if you're seeing this for the first time and you're like, what even is this? If you're not with us since season 1, these are weekly videos that I put out that usually follow a blog on our Peak Performance site, as well as up on Spotify and on YouTube. This is a resource for high school distance runners. I will talk a little bit about sprints because I know some of my 800 people go on down to the 400. But the reality is the work that I do as a coach, I work with 800, 1600, and 3200 meter distance runners here in the state of Colorado as part of our club running program, Peak, as well as Peak Elite. Those are our high school distance running programs. You can learn more about those at peakperformrun.com. But if you're here and you're seeing this, you're probably a part of either one of our camps, or you're going to be a part of one of our camps this summer. I put this resource out there to future campers so they can get to know me as well as our program a little bit better. What Jog Your Mind is about creating a resource for all of you guys, whether it's mental skills and tools, nutrition, or just general insight and discussion around the track season. I put out a weekly episode that follows the season and what I see my athletes dealing with and working with, both on the mental side and just helping them fill the gaps throughout the season, having a discussion, and maybe even putting some reminders out there about what we should be focusing on. Sometimes we can get stuck. Sometimes we may over-focus on things like PRs when most of our races in the early part of the season are cold and windy and not great PR conditions. So how do we work through that? What are some of the other things that we can do as far as strategy, nutrition, or all of those other things that we can do so that when we do get that opportunity, we can seize it? So really, really pumped to be back here with you guys. I've got a little bit that I'll give you guys about what we're going to talk about this season. I am going to be bringing on a few guests, and yes, I will be keeping the episodes inside of 12 to 15 minutes. My goal with bringing on guests is to give you guys the gold nuggets, just the really important pieces of information. I will post the long-form discussion if you guys are interested in that, but my goal with this and this experiment originally was bring together the important pieces of information and then create a place for discussion and insight. So we're going to talk about blood work this season, your iron levels. It's one of the biggest things I see holding athletes back, both male and female athletes. Number 2, we're going to talk about nutrition and not just here's some snack ideas. We're going to talk about what should we be eating on a day-to-day basis, as well as what do we need to consider when we look at an all-day track meet. Some of you guys are going to be racing the 2 mile, the mile, a 4x8. That's a lot on your body. And it's a lot to get warmed up, to race, to cool down, to eat. And it's a constant thing to be thinking about. Do you have the tools and the strategy that you need to be able to perform? That's my goal, is to give that to you, as well as talking about race strategy, 800 through 3200. We're going to break them down. We're going to go race by race, kind of talk about what are the things that are important to you as an athlete and what are the things that you need to consider. With that said, one of the things that I know you guys loved last year was being able to download any of the resources that I discussed, whether it was on the blog or it was right here in front of the camera with all of you guys. Those are coming back. Don't even worry about it. I've got some really, really cool stuff. If there are bits and pieces from last season that you're like, oh, I wish I could revisit that, you guys can go to peakperformrun.com/jogyourmind. That's all one word. And you'll be able to go back through all of season 1 and be able to revisit all of that content. So if you're starting your season here, I'm super excited. Today is an amazing day. Why? It's leap day. I know I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time. I've got to record a few episodes in advance, which I don't love to do, but we are headed to Nike Indoor as a team. We've got 9 athletes going this year, and so I'm super excited for that. But to make sure that I deliver to you guys on time, you guys are going to be seeing me in front of the camera in this blue shirt here for a little bit. So with that said, Jog Your Mind season 2 coming your way. I look forward to recording these next couple episodes and sharing some really cool stuff with you. With that said, we'll see you guys next week.